Hi, my name is Cody Michelson, and these are the challenges for corporate communication in the digital age. First, it's important to note the differences between the traditional and modern methods of communication that are used in business settings. First, we have the traditional methods, which include face-to-face contact, phone calls, written letters, and email. These are the methods that have traditionally been used for in business situations. And some of the more modern methods include text messaging, instant messaging, social networking like Facebook and Twitter, and video chat, including Skype and FaceTime. With technology changing so rapidly, it's really important to recognize which methods of modern communication should be used in business situations. Traditional method of communication in the business world will most likely change in the near future, which is why it's important to recognize these new methods and see which ones are most efficient for the workplace environment. Now, we will begin to discuss the challenges of modern methods of communication in the corporate world. First, let's discuss the challenges associated with managing social and multimedia communications in the corporate environment. First, with all these new forms of social and multimedia being introduced, many corporations find it difficult to manage in the workplace. One example is how there is no form of regulation in the workplace and in dealing with social and multimedia forms of communication, which makes it more easy for information leaks to happen, such as with Facebook when they leaked the information of over 18 million users. Um, some of these problems can be fixed with regulatory action, but in order for these to be used efficiently in the workplace, this definitely needs to be fixed in the near future. Another issue with managing these modern styles of corporate communication is finding specialists in these fields. Most young adults have these skills, but often lack the experience needed for these types of positions, which makes it harder to find communication specialists. And on the other hand, older businessmen and women may have the experience needed for the position, but they often lack the technological skills needed to help manage these forms of communication. Another issue with managing these more modern and faster forms of communication is the shift in customer expectations that has changed over the recent years. With these styles of communication, consumers expect much faster services and deliveries and replies from various businesses, which may be harder for some businesses to manage because there's a lot of customers and they might have a high customer base, which makes it difficult to deliver and respond to all these customers on time. First, let's discuss some of the barriers of social and multimedia communications in the corporate world. With the increase of all these different types of methods, it provides more options for whoever is using these methods in the business world. However, it may make it more difficult for them to distinguish which type to use in a certain situation. For instance, using text messaging to discuss important or confidential information would not be appropriate. It's very vital for different businesses to make this distinction and to determine which methods are most efficient for their business in order to prevent these types of things from happening. Next, oversharing is another big problem that corporations face in today's digital age. The fragmentation of media has made it significantly easier for anyone to post pretty much anything they want about a company or organization, which could possibly be a risk for them. Um, Negative word of mouth could also be spread over platforms that a business may not even know about, causing another barrier for them that they also have no control over it. Including with this, multimedia and social media forms of communication are very transparent, and due to the fact that people can, like I said, put whatever they want on the internet, it makes it harder for businesses to find and use credible information to use with their businesses, which is also just another barrier that they face. Finally, we will discuss various ways that stakeholders are affected by corporations' challenges of modern communication. Like we discussed before, with more and more media outlets popping up each day, customers have more options, which in return causes the businesses to focus more time on each customer. Along with the increase of media outlets, some businesses find it difficult to decide how to reach their customer, whether it be from billboards or a TV, or even targeted ads on their cell phone through their social networking sites. On the other hand, stakeholders could potentially be positively influenced by businesses' use of social networking in areas including campaigning and public affairs. Giving your customer the opportunity to speak out on important issues is not only beneficial for them, but also in the end makes your business associated more reputable. After discussing the various challenges of corporate communication in today's digital age, it's important to look over all this information and think what you yourself do about this. First, analyze the use of traditional media versus social media in your life and see how much of which you use. Then, if you come across any barriers or challenges that you face, strategize a way to overcome those barriers and become an effective communicator in the corporate world. Finally, educate your peers and students on new and innovative technologies and how they can help them become most successful in the business world and in the future.